So in today's video, we are going to be going through and ranking the English top 92 clubs, and I'll be deciding which division I personally believe they should be in. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 250 likes on today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We're now on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below, who do you support and what division do you think your club should be in? Now, I'm not really too sure what I'm specifically basing this on. I feel like you've got to factor in a load of different things, but say you finished in the Premier League once in 1962. I'm not probably going to take that into consideration, considering I was nowhere near even being considered to be birthed at that point. But if you won the Champions League maybe back then, or the European Cup, whatever it was called, then I might take that into consideration. But it is more based on the last 10, 15 years or so. So let's waste no further time. Make sure to drop a like on there for me. Subscribe if you are new as well. And let's get into it. So as you can see in front of me, we have the 4 different categories of obviously the Premier League, the Championship, League 1 and League 2, and the entirety of England's top 92 clubs. Now, for example, there are some clubs in the National League who I think should be in League 1, such as Oldham Athletic, and there are also some clubs who are probably going to get put in League 2, who I think should be in non-league. But if I have to rank them on the top 4 divisions in England, this will be my ranking. So we're going to go through and put through a provisional of where I think every club should be, and then we'll have to chop and change it to make sure there's 20 teams in the Premier League and then 24 balanced in the Championship, League 1 and League 2 as well. We're going to try and go through it as quick as possible because obviously there's 92 different clubs to go through. So starting out with Accrington Stanley, I think this is a pretty easy one at League 2. They had a decent spell in League 1 for around 4 or 5 years, something like that, but I think League 2 is probably their level. AFC Wimbledon, bit of a tricky one. I'm probably going to put them in League 1 for now. Obviously, if we're just factoring in from their time as AFC Wimbledon and not Wimbledon, then I think I probably would put them in League 1. Arsenal, very easy, one of the biggest clubs in England. They definitely go in the Premier League. Aston Villa, again, one of the biggest clubs in England. Brilliant fan base, obviously won the European Cup as well, and obviously Unai Emery is doing some unbelievable things there at this moment in time. So Aston Villa, definitely in that Premier League category. Barnsley, you could argue Championship, but I think I'm going to put them in League 1. But again, that might be when we come back to at the end of today's video. Barrow, definitely League 2. If there was the option, I'd probably put them lower than that as well, to be fair. Birmingham City, while they have just been relegated into League 1, I think they're usually a Championship club. They've obviously had a couple of years in the Premier League, won the FA Cup or League Cup, one of the two. Not too long ago, to be fair, so I'll stick them in the Championship. Same can be said about Blackburn Rovers. Blackpool's a very interesting one because they've had years in the Premier League and the Championship, then they've had years in League 2, most recently in League 1 as well, despite I think it was a year or two in the Championship. I'll probably put them in League 1 for now, but again, one we could come back to review at the end of today's video. Bolton, I mean, growing up, they were always a Premier League club, really, but, I mean, prime Barclays is really what we're going for in the Premier League. For now, though, I'm going to stick them in the Championship, but again, one we could come back to at the end of today's video. Bournemouth, I mean, you could even argue League 2, but I'll put them in League 1 for now and try and be generous. Obviously, I'm a Bradford City fan. I think we are a League 1 club. In my lifetime of going to Bradford City matches, I've never seen us compete in the Championship or Premier League. We might have been in the Championship like when I was like 0 or 1, something like that, but yeah, League 1 for me is where I would expect a size of Bradford City's club to be. Brentford, again, bit of an interesting one. I remember when, I don't even know, maybe like 10 years ago when we beat them 4-0 at home. They got a red card for karate kicking Naki Wells. I'd probably stick them in League 1 as well for now. Brighton, I'd probably say Championship at this moment in time. Bristol City, Championship. They always finish in mid-table in the Championship. Bristol Rovers, again, probably I'd put them in League 1. And Bromley, definitely League 2. Burnley, obviously been in and around the Premier League for the last couple of years. You could maybe argue Premier League, but I think for now I'm going to put them in Championship, but they're right at the top end of Championship. Burton, with all due respect, probably League 2, although they have been in League 1 for a number of years now, and they even had the odd year in the Championship as well, so maybe that's a little bit disrespectful, but I certainly think they were massively punching above their weight for me. Cambridge United, again, maybe right at the bottom of League 1, but for now I'm probably going to put them in League 2. Cardiff City, going to put them in a Championship, have had a few years in the Premier League as well under Neil Warnock. Carlisle United, I mean, when was the last time they were in League 1 for a consistent amount of time, more than a year. I can't remember it, so they're going in League 2 as well. Charlton-on-Lake, absolutely massive club, a real sleeping giant. They're going in the Championship for me. I feel like the term sleeping giant gets branded around a lot for teams like Gillingham. I can't believe I've just said that again, but you know what I mean. They describe themselves as a sleeping giant. Colchester United, these sort of teams, but Charlton-on-Lake are a true sleeping giant. They could be a Premier League team if they get it right. Chelsea, again, one of the biggest clubs in England, so they go in the Premier League. Cheltenham Town, one of the smallest clubs in England, so they probably go in at League 2. Chesterfield, I think, are a well-established club. I'll probably put them in League 1. Colchester, I think they go in League 2 for me. Coventry, massive club, probably put them in the Championship. I know they get criticised for their attendances for a number of years ago, when who can really blame them for not wanting to turn up there when they had so many issues, but now they're back in the Championship. You know, they're getting a decent amount in terms of attendances as well, and it's great to see they finally managed to turn things around, and I think they will be competing again for the top 6 next campaign. Crawley Town, I think, again, probably put them in League 2, but they did really well last season to achieve promotion into League 1. Before we go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. We are aiming for 250 likes on today's video, and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What do you think of my tier list so far? And let's move on to the next team. Crewe Alexandra, again, probably put them in League 2, in all honesty. Crystal Palace, I think, are a well-established Premier League side at this moment in time. Derby County, probably put them in the Championship. Obviously got the record for the worst ever Premier League season, but I think Derby are a well-established Championship club. Doncaster Rovers, I'll probably put them in League 1, in all honesty. Everton, probably put them in the Premier League. Exeter, probably a League 1, similar sort of size club to Doncaster. Fleetwood definitely go in League 2. Fulham's a bit of an interesting one, because I wouldn't necessarily say Fulham are a big club, but they've obviously been in the Premier League and yo-yoing in and around it for quite a long time now. I think for now I'm going to put them in the Championship, but it could certainly be one that we come back and review at the end. Gillingham, maybe bottom end League 1 for now, though I'm going to stick them in at League 2. Grimsby, big club for League 2 level, but I think League 2 probably is their level. Harrogate, probably League 2 standard as well. Huddersfield, I mean, they've normally been in and around the Championship, obviously now in League 1, had a few years in the Premier League. I would love to put them in League 1, but they probably are a Championship-sized club. Hull City, you can maybe argue League 1, but then you can also maybe argue Premier League and Championship. I think you'd probably balance it out at the Championship, to be fair. They're not the biggest club in the league, but they have had a number of years in the Premier League and obviously done quite well. Had a year or two in League 1 as well. I think it was just the 1 year they bounced back in the COVID season, didn't they? Ipswich is a very interesting one, because obviously recently they've been absolutely incredible of what they've done over the last 2 seasons, but they were in and around the Championship, bottom half of that for a while, then had the odd season or two in at League 1. I'll probably put them in Championship around the middle to bottom half of the Championship. Leeds United, unfortunately, pains me to say, probably are a Premier League club, to be fair. You know, when it's going right at Ellen Road, it's certainly a very intimidating place to go. Leicester City, maybe Premier League. I think I'm going to put them again in Championship for now, one that we could come back and review. Leyton Orient, I think, are actually a decent sized club, but again, very similar to Doncaster, Exeter. Probably put them in at League 1. Lincoln City, again, similar sort of size clubs. I'll probably put them in League 1. Liverpool, obviously one of the biggest clubs in England. They go in the Premier League. Luton, I mean, they've been in every division over the last 10 years, haven't they? Including the National League. It's been absolutely crazy to see their rise, and unfortunate last season's downfall. They will be back in the Championship next season. I'll probably put them as a League 1 sized club. Man City, now I know people are going to go on about 115 charges and, you know, where were they before all the oil money, but they are now one of the biggest clubs in England, and obviously Manchester United, probably the biggest club in England, probably one of the biggest clubs in the world as well. Mansfield Town, I really like Mansfield, but they were in League 2 for so many years. I'm finding it tough to put them in League 1 at the moment. Do they deserve to be in there more than a Doncaster, more than Exeter? Probably. I think I'll probably put Mansfield in League 1 for now, but again, could be one that we come back and review. Middlesbrough have kind of always been in the Championship throughout my lifetime. They had the couple of seasons in the Premier League, but they always seem to be around mid-table, chasing the playoffs in at the second tier. Millwall, I'll probably stick them in League 1. I do think they are overachieving at the moment, and it kind of comes back to bite me after I said they'll finish 6th in the Championship last season, and they nearly got relegated. So yeah, they're going in League 1 for me. MK Dons, definitely a League 2 club. Same can be said about Morecambe. Newcastle, one of the best fan bases in the country. They go in that top category for me. Newport County, probably stick them in League 2. Northampton Town, could maybe argue League 1. I think for now, I'm going to put them in League 2. Norwich City, definitely Championship, maybe even Premier League, to be fair. I remember the days when they had Tete in midfield and Houlihan, them sort of players, Grant Holt, but I think for now they're going to go Championship. If we do review any of them, Norwich could certainly be one that get moved up into the Premier League though. Nottingham Forest, again, very similar, huge club, won back-to-back European Cups, didn't they, under Brian Clough, I believe. Obviously now back in the Premier League. I think Nottingham Forest, I think I am going to put them in the Premier League. I think they're a gigantic club. Notts County, could maybe argue Championship, but I think I'm going to put them in League One. Oxford United, I mean, apart from the season just gone by, how many years have they been in League One for? It feels like they are the definition of a League One club. Same can be said about Peterborough United, definitely League One. Plymouth Argyle, probably would say the same, maybe even League Two. You know, I do think Plymouth are quite a small club who are massively overachieving, and you've got to give them a lot of credit for that. Maybe League Two is a little bit harsh, in all honesty. Port Vale, probably stick them right at the bottom end of League One, but again, one we could come back to review and move them a little bit further down. Portsmouth, I think, are a massive club. Like, I have no problems with putting Portsmouth there. I think they're an absolutely huge club. I think they deserve to be in the Premier League for me. Preston North End, I mean, they normally are always in the Championship, but I think I'm going to put Preston in League One. I do think they are overachieving at the moment. QPR, definitely a Championship-sized club for me. Reading, probably would put them in the Championship as well. They normally have been in and around the Championship over the last few seasons. Obviously, despite their financial and ownership issues, they probably would still be a Championship club. Rotherham United need to have a division in between Championship and League One because they always piss League One and then do absolutely terrible in the Championship. So I'm going to stick them in at League One. Salford City, I mean, the most irrelevant club out of all these 92 teams. Even Bromley are a bigger club than Salford, so they're going in League Two. Sheffield United, now I don't feel like Sheffield United are a very big club, in all honesty. I just think they've been massively overperforming for a number of years. Are they bigger than a Hull City? Are they bigger than a Huddersfield Town? Probably, and I've got them in a Championship, so maybe Sheffield United belong in the Championship, but I think in terms of where they deserve to be, it'd probably be the lower end of that. Before we go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. We are aiming for 250 likes on today's video. Don't forget as well to subscribe to the channel if you are new and get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below, who do you support and where do you think your team should be placed. Sheffield Wednesday, I think, are an absolutely massive club. To be fair, their fans are incredible. I'll probably stick them in the Championship as well. Shrewsbury Town might be a little bit harsh, but I'm sticking them in at League Two. Southampton, I don't really see it, in all honesty. I'm going to stick them in at League One. I think we've only got one more spot available in at League One before we do have to start moving things around. Stevenage, tiny club really. Their fans do my head in more than than Carlisle and Doncaster. They're going in League Two for that alone. Stockport, I think, are a really, really big club, in all honesty. I think they are a hidden giant or sleeping giant, whatever the term is. I think they've got real big potential, but I'll probably put them in League One for now. So if we want to put any more in League One, we're going to have to start moving things around. Stoke City is a very hard one because obviously under Mike Hughes, Tony Pulis, very well established Premier League side. More recently though, since they've been relegated, have been shocking and have been in and around the bottom half of the Championship. I feel like for prime nostalgia reasons, I'm going to put Stoke City in the Premier League. Sunderland, a massive club, they should be up there in the Premier League. Swansea City, probably put them in the Championship. Swindon, definitely League One, so it does mean we are going to have to start moving things around in that League One category. Tottenham Hotspur, I'm going to stick them up in the Premier League. Again, one of the bigger clubs in England. Tranmere, again, probably a League One size club as well. At Walsall, I mean, you're looking at how full League One is, they probably are going to have to go into League Two, unfortunately. Watford, definitely Championship for me. West Brom, huge club, they should be in the Premier League, definitely. It's a real shame that they kind of got all these off-the-field issues and it's not really working out for them over the last couple of years since they were relegated. But yeah, probably a Premier League club for me. And these next three just scream prime Barclays for me. West Ham, definitely Premier League. They're an absolutely huge club. Wigan, I mean, they're not a very big club, in all honesty. I'll probably say in terms of their size of the club, top part of League One, maybe bottom part of the Championship, but based on where they deserve to be, I'm going to stick Wigan in the Championship for now, but again, we could come back and review that. Wolves had a couple of seasons in League One. I remember when they came to us, they battered us 3-0, and that was a long time ago. It was one of my earliest memories in football, but recently, back in the Premier League and doing really well there. They absolutely smashed the Championship. Was it in the 18-19 season? Absolutely walked it, but Wolves, for me, I think probably are a Premier League club. Then you've got Wrexham, who pre-takeover, probably a League Two club, maybe National League post-takeover. Obviously, their potential is absolutely massive, and Wycombe Wanderers for me probably also do go in League 2. So we've got 18 in the Premier League, 24 in the Championship, 26 in League 1 and 24 in League 2. So we're going to have to move a lot of clubs up here. So we need to move 2 from the Championship firstly into the Premier League. I did say Norwich City probably should be in there. So Norwich City for me are going to be the first team that I move up there. Now for me it's between Bolton, I would probably say, maybe QPR. I mean, these two, they're not massive clubs to be fair, but in terms of, you know, growing up and nostalgia, these two have been in and around the Premier League, haven't they? Swansea have had a few years in the Premier League, so have Watford, but I'm not really going to consider either of them two. Wigan, I guess Brighton in terms of recent. Burnley, to be fair, Burnley did very well, didn't they, under Sean Dyche, and obviously last season under Company didn't really work out. I think I'm going to put Bolton in the Premier League. Again, prime Barclays I'm thinking here. So that completes my Premier League. Now we need to move 2 teams from League 1 up into the Championship, and what sort of teams are I considering to move up? I think maybe Preston. I feel like they are a League 1 club, but in terms of you think Championship, you probably do think Preston North End. So I'm moving Preston up into the Championship, and I need to move 1 other club up there. Maybe Blackpool, maybe Brentford, maybe Millwall. Millwall I think would be a really good shout in all honesty. Looking at all the clubs that are available here, I think I'm going to move Millwall up into the Championship because they're just Millwall, aren't they? They're just a bit horrible, and that's the Championship. And then that obviously then completes League 1 and League 2 as well. I'm sure that's going to cause a lot of controversy, and I'm sure you probably don't agree with it. But let me know down below what you agree with, what you disagree with, because I am going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 250 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't already, with that post notification bell on, it's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below, what do you agree with, what do you disagree with, who do you support, and where do you think your club should be ranked. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.